After months of deployment, I was finally coming home a day earlier than expected. The thought of walking to the front door, feeling the warmth of my wife's embrace, and finally being in my own bed after months of uncertainty and danger kept me awake on those long nights overseas. I replayed the reunion in my head countless times, imagining her smile, her laughter, the familiar scent of home. The plane touched down, my heart raced, and I caught a cab straight to our house. Each block brought a mixture of excitement and exhaustion. I rehearsed what I would say, the words I'd use to express how much I'd missed her, how much I'd longed for this moment. When I pulled up to our driveway, everything looked normal. The lights were on, the mailbox full, the grass neatly trimmed. I opened the front door quietly, expecting to surprise her. Then I heard it, the unmistakable sound of laughter, hers, coming from the bedroom. My stomach tightened. I froze in the hallway, heart hammering, mind refusing to process what my ears were telling me. I stepped closer, each footfall heavier than the last, until I could see into our bedroom. My world shattered in an instant. There she was, my wife, the woman I had trusted with my life, lying in bed with someone else. Not just anyone, her boss, the man she had described countless times as helpful and supportive. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I didn't cry. The shock was paralyzing. Their laughter, their closeness, the intimacy that should have been reserved for me, it all cut deeper than any wound I had suffered overseas. I felt every emotion at once: betrayal, rage, disbelief, humiliation. My mind raced, trying to understand how she could do this, how she could replace me, the man who had spent months away, who had faced dangers she couldn't even imagine, with someone who had been sitting in our living room pretending to be just a friend or mentor. I realized then that this was no mistake. This was deliberate, a calculated, selfish act designed to humiliate me. I backed out of the bedroom, silently. I didn't say a word. I didn't scream, didn't plead, didn't beg. The betrayal was so deep that silence felt like the only response that preserved my dignity. I went straight to the safe where I kept our joint finances. My hand shook as I blocked all the cards, froze the accounts, and redirected our funds. Every dollar she thought she had access to vanished in an instant. Then I changed the locks on the doors, ensuring that the home I had fought to protect for years could no longer be accessed by the person who had betrayed me so completely. I walked out into the quiet of the night, feeling the weight of months of service, sacrifice, and trust pressing down on me. Everything I had built, my home, my family, my marriage, had been shattered in a single afternoon, yet somehow, in the midst of the devastation, I felt a strange clarity. For weeks, I stayed away. I stayed with friends, reconnecting with people who truly cared for me. I processed betrayal in silence, letting the initial shock give way to a steady resolve. I realized that this wasn't just about infidelity. It was about power, control, and manipulation. She had taken advantage of my absence, counting on my delayed return, assuming I would forgive or overlook her indiscretions because of my love and commitment. But I didn't forgive. I didn't overlook. I protected myself. I rebuilt my life around the truth of who she really was. Eventually, I sought legal counsel, preparing to sever all ties formally. I had evidence, documentation, and the clarity that came from seeing the truth firsthand. The betrayal had been devastating, but also gave me an unshakable understanding of my worth, my boundaries, and the life I was determined to lead without someone who had shown such disregard for my trust and love. I never confronted her directly after that night. Words were unnecessary. The actions I took spoke louder than any argument or tearful plea could have. She learned eventually that betrayal carries consequences, and that the person she wronged could rise above it, stronger, wiser, and unbroken. What hurt the most wasn't just the act of infidelity. It was the ease with which she replaced years of love and trust with fleeting pleasure, the way she had risked everything we had built together for selfish gratification. But even in that, I found a lesson. Clarity comes in the harshest moments, and sometimes betrayal is a catalyst that forces you to reclaim your life. I walked away from that home, that marriage, and that illusion with nothing but the truth and my own dignity. I had survived deployment. I had survived betrayal. And for the first time in months, I felt free from deceit, free from manipulation, free from someone who had never truly honored the love we shared. Because in the end, no act of betrayal can take from you what you have earned, what you have survived, and what you carry with you. The knowledge that you are stronger than the people who try to break you. And I was stronger.